Hi, everyone, and welcome. We are live. Hi, happy Wednesday. We are live. It's Thursday. All right, we already did this. It's Thursday. Happy Thursday. We are live. Billable-Hour Burnout, episode 23 here. Now, I know you work long hours regularly, but I want to ask you why. Is it client demands, statutory due dates? Maybe your team's waiting on you? Here's the thing that I know. That's not the reason why you're overworking. It's actually because you have thoughts that are keeping you on the hamster wheel. These thoughts are having you work more hours, and these thoughts are painful. The best news about it, it can be stopped today. But first, let me welcome you to the show. This is Billable-Hour Burnout. If you need helpful tactical advice that helps you have the career of your dreams without the stress or the overwhelm, you are in the right place. If you want to finally enjoy the life you've spent decades building, you are in the right place. If you find yourself here today, it means you're looking for more work-life balance, more ease, more confidence, and you're ready to make it happen without quitting your job or burning down your life. My name is Baptiste, your Big Four auditor and regulatory tax consultant turned life coach, and you're listening to Billable-Hour Burnout. On the show, I share simple, tactical advice, and it's for the modern accountant, attorney, and consultant. You ready? Here we go. Episode 23. Let's do it. Now, first, a lot of you were asking me, where's the replay? I want to see. I missed it. If you missed it, the replay is available until the end of this month, August 30th. I have the replay link on my website, on my profile, on all the places. You could DM me. It's in my Instagram stories. It's on my LinkedIn profile. It's everywhere. So if you want the webinar replay and you missed it, just message me and I will get it to you. It has replay access till the 30th at 11:59. So you have 1 week to watch to get over those fatal thoughts. But on a personal anecdote, I just had a nice long weekend at the beach. I go to the Jersey Shore. I am a Jersey girl. I grew up in Jersey, so I am Jersey Beach uh, loyal. And I was with my family. It was my mom's birthday. We had time together. My niece and my sister came and spent time with my aunt and my uncle, and it's been a little bit. So it was a nice little family reunion. I also got some moments to myself, a lot of yoga, a lot of walks on the beach. It was really nice. And another fun personal thing, I love sharing what's going on with me because I know we're getting to know each other and I'm getting to know more about you. But tomorrow is my 9-year anniversary with my husband. 9 years, time flies. Maybe some of you saw last year I posted photos from the venue that we went to. I hadn't been there in 8 years, but now here we are. I'm at my 9-year anniversary and I'm already thinking, okay, so now what for 10? What do we want to do? Where do we want to go? What do we want to be doing? That's what's going on in my world. So I love this time of year. I have a birthday that ends up always being cold slash snowy slash weird weather. So when I picked my wedding date, I was like, it's going to be a fun anniversary, good weather, always kind of date. So I get to enjoy that. Now let's talk about a client success story. I actually just want to talk about some of the feedback I got from yesterday or Tuesday's webinar. One was just a really clean, I highly recommend this. Amazing. And thank you for that, because whenever I hear feedback, I always want to know what's working for you, what are you loving, what do you want to hear more of? So it's really nice to see that they highly recommend the webinar. But the other one that I really wanted to share is I feel my body calm down as you were talking. A lot of us in the space of burnout and feeling the stress and overwhelm is we feel overwhelmed. We feel anxiety creep in. And as I was talking to someone today, she even says my anxiety has anxiety. So that being said, I can understand how overwhelming it can be when we're stuck in our thoughts. Now, today I want to add some value in your life, and I'm going to do that going deep into this one idea. Your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. I want you to check in. Who's clocking for you? Who's clocking in? Who's working for you right now? Is it your best friend that's supporting you, encouraging you, and giving you helpful thoughts? Or is it your worst enemy, the one that's saying you're not good enough, you're not working hard enough, you're not doing this right, Who's checking in? Who's showing up for you right now? What they say back in the Upanishads, old Vedic scriptures, is this beautiful quote that I often refer to with my clients. They say, watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. Now, if you remember as a kid in school doing numerator and denominator, if the numerator and the denominator are the same, you're able to cross it out. So if I look at this quote, and I know you're hearing it, you're not looking at it, but if it really goes, if you're crossing out all the excess, it really says in essence, watch your thoughts, for they become your destiny. They become what your life results in. How we think creates how we feel. And how we feel creates the actions that we take. It's a cycle of thinking, feeling, and acting. But what if your thoughts helped you work smarter, not harder? What if your thoughts helped you work more intentionally, not harder? What if your thoughts stopped you from working so hard? This is why we're here today. We know our thoughts are getting in the way of our success. And I want to tell you about a client I spoke to this morning. I actually had a different plan of what I wanted to talk to you about today, but I had this call and I was like, oof, I need to bring this to today's session. I saw my client I could see her thoughts, and I noticed how much harder it was making her work. And it was showing up as people pleasing. I saw my client, she came and we were having our session, and she said, I'm noticed people pleasing is coming in. I'm having a problem saying no, particularly as it relates to this one person. This one person keeps feeding me work, and I keep saying yes because I'm a team player. And this is making me overwork. Right. So I talk about this in so much detail in Tuesday's webinar. So I will give you the replay to watch that. But what I really want you to hear, yeah, I'm seeing in the comments, there's people pleasing happening right here. Because she's just accepting that extra work, it's a lose. It's a lose for her, but you might be surprised to hear that it's also a lose for her colleague. And I'll also tell you, it's also a lose for her client. For her client, have you ever had to tell your information to a customer service representative like 3 times after getting transferred over and over again? How infuriating is that? Imagine being a client coming to a law firm and saying, I need your help. And they're like, sure, tell me everything that's going on. And then on the second call, they're like, well, I don't see the notes. You're going to need to tell me everything that's going on. How challenging of an experience is that? So what we were noticing is there's a cost here. The client's losing, but also the colleague is losing. What if he is missing out on the experience of seeing someone from start to finish? What if it looks like he's not capable because he keeps changing his cases out? What if it's actually a promotion factor? She did mention to me, hey, actually, they see when it changes names, when a case changes names. So now we're seeing, okay, we see that this is creating overwork for you, which oftentimes we just people please and say, I'll be okay, it'll be fine. But now we're seeing there's a cost to the client, there's a cost to the colleague, and there's a cost to me. But this took a while. When I was talking to her, I was like, tell me what's coming up. Tell me what's going on in your mindset. And she was saying thoughts like, I just feel like if I'm not a team player, that I'm not going to be perceived well. It feels like I'm doing things slower. My productivity drops. My anxiety spikes. If I have an assignment, I'm procrastinating and waiting to do it. I get annoyed with myself and I tell myself things like, I shouldn't be having these feelings. There are all these fatal thoughts coming in that are affecting her performance and how she shows up. And it also looks like she's overwhelmed, right? Because she said it. She came to the call saying, I'm overwhelmed. Now, here's what happens when we start to decide to do something instead. I offered on Tuesday's webinar, I offered a 6-step process that I'm going to say to you right here and now. I go through it in much more detail on the webinar. But in this 6-step process, we can start to notice these thoughts that are coming up, that these fatal thoughts are coming up, and we think of a new way to do it instead. So let's walk through the 6 steps, because if you're thoughts are making you work harder, meaning you're overworking, you're people pleasing, you're taking on more than you have capacity for, these are all in the definition of overworking, then here's the 6 steps to break through it. Number one, notice some of these thoughts that are coming up. You telling yourself, oh, I have to be a team player, saying it is what it is, right? Notice the thoughts that arise. Then pause. Step 2 is to pause. Then you want to move into step 3, decide what it is that you want instead. Not that's going to make your colleague happy, but that's going to be a win-win for everybody. It's possible. So you have to decide. Then you communicate with your colleague. When I was talking to my client in this situation, I talked to her and said, all right, let's identify ways that we can say no. And she's like, hey, I just am not in a place where I can even say no right now. I don't know, like, what do I can't do that. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I was like, okay, then let's figure out a way for us instead to communicate a little bit of pushback. So we're moving out of, I have to accept everything and I can't say no to something better. Sorry, guys, I'm losing my video. It keeps going in and out on LinkedIn. If it goes out again, I'll just have to switch it. Yeah. All right. Hold on. We're getting there. Too funny. Technology. All right. We're here. We're here. We're still doing it. So, okay. We're in step 3. We're deciding. We know what we need. So with my client in this situation, we came up ways to push back without necessarily saying no. And that came up in step 4, communicate. So at this point, we went notice, pause, decide, communicate. Step 5 is constrain. Be able to push back and not take it back. How many times do you say, no, I can't do this. And then you're like, well, I'll fit it in. No, we have to practice constraint. If we said no, then we have to keep to a no. Hold the no. All right, in step 6, we want to evaluate, tweak, implement, and repeat. So that's the 6-step process. I go into it in much more detail in Tuesday's webinar, so make sure you check that out if you really want to break through the fatal thoughts that keep coming up. But I really want you to think about this because as we go into this client situation, fatal thoughts come up. And the hardest part is sometimes we don't even identify that they're fatal. We don't realize that these thoughts are making me work harder. We don't realize that thoughts that, oh, I want to be a team player, or I don't know another way, or I have to do it like this, right? We don't realize that they're fatal. So when number 1, that first step of notice can be challenging if we don't believe that those are a problem. That's why I'm really encouraging you, if you haven't watched the webinar yet, take a moment to watch now. As mentioned, it's good till the end of this month, August 30th, not the 31st, the 30th, till Friday at midnight. And what I answer is questions that come up around overworking, questions that come up around why I'm working harder than I need to. Questions like, why do people tend to overwork even when they know it's harmful? What are the long-term consequences of overworking? What can we do when we always have a full day of meetings and additional work that we need to complete after hours and do it regularly? Is overworking sometimes necessary or should it always be avoided? I answered all these questions on Tuesday's replay, and I want you to watch. I want you to have access to this information because if we never notice, if we don't have awareness, we will always live on this hamster wheel of overwhelm, this hamster wheel of overwork, this hamster wheel of burnout. So I encourage you, take action now and don't wait to watch. Don't waste another moment working more than necessary. Yes, you work a lot. But do you have to overwork? See the difference? We all work a lot, but do you have to work more than necessary? I want you to remove that part at the top. I'm not saying, hey, maybe we don't work hard anymore. Yeah, we can still work hard, but can we stop overworking? Do you know 85%, 82% of people overwork, right? I want you to break this habit. I don't want you wasting more time than you need to be. I want you to have Saturday mornings where they can be slow with a cup of coffee on your porch. I want you to have evenings where you can close your computer and not feel guilty. I want you to go on vacation and not feel the need to open your laptop or feel like you're going to get fired when you come back because you actually used your PTO. In the webinar, I spent an hour talking about 5 fatal thoughts that keep you in a cycle of overwork, the 6-step process to have more time to yourself, and a tried and true plan so that you can accomplish more without doing more. We do this type of work consistently in my coaching program, Freedom. So the question is not, are you ready? The question is, what fatal thought is keeping you from having a better life? If what I'm sharing resonates, I really encourage you not just to watch the webinar, but to take it to the next level. Don't limit yourself to consuming a 1-hour training. Come work with me. When you work with me on a consultation, that's the first step to take action. So we can discuss specifically what's going on in your life, what you're struggling with, and I'm going to give you a specific plan of action for you, custom to you, where you're at, what you're working with, what you're dealing with, to get you out of overwork, to get you out of these fatal thoughts. I don't want you working harder than you work hard enough. So once we go through this consultation, you start to embody a new way of working, being, living without the burnout, without the sacrifice, without the guilt, and just the success. So this is what I'm offering today. I want to remind you here, your thoughts are making you work harder than they need to. And so what we're going to do is remove the eating hours, remove the overwork, remove the overwhelm, and start to feel the success. Start to have the life where you can enjoy the fruits of your hard labor. All right. This is where we are landing today. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to take action, I am going to put some comments into LinkedIn and YouTube, and you'll see all the links where you can sign up for a consultation, listen to the replay. And if you want to check everything out, go to my website, www.akaloawellness.com. You can find me on all the places, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, wherever I am. Wherever you are, I likely am too. All right, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. And for more information about me and my work and everything that's going on, just visit my website. Feel free to message me anytime. Now is that time to take action to finally have the life that you deserve. All right. I'll talk to you later. See you next week. Bye.